Hello and welcome to an India Today special broadcast. I'm Gaurav Sawant, and over the course of the next half hour, India Today will get you details of these images. These images haven't been seen before except on India Today, and images that tell you the story of what emerged at the Gyanvapi premises. Unedited, 8 hours of survey tapes accessed exclusively by India Today. And over the course of the next half hour, we'll show you these images. We'll tell you what these images indicate and what it could mean for the Gyanvapi case. But as always, let's get started with the headlines on India First. The Enforcement Directorate arrests Delhi's Health Minister Satyendra Jain for allegedly being connected to Hawala transactions linked to a Kolkata-based company. The Aam Aadmi Party accuses the BJP of vendetta politics. A day after famous Punjabi singer Sidhu Moosewala's broad daylight murder, Punjab police detains one suspect in Dehradun. The Bhagwant Mann government appoints a judicial commission. Both the BJP and the Congress target the Aam Aadmi Party government. Anger within the Congress over Gandhi loyalists making it to Rajya Sabha. Actor turned political leader Nagma says Sonia Gandhi backtracked on an 18-year-old promise for Rajya Sabha seat. Ally JMM denies Congress request to give it an additional seat. Chaos and a brawl after ink thrown at farmer leader Rakesh Tikait at a Bengaluru briefing. People seen hurling chairs at each other. Police detain 3 individuals. And UPSC results declared. Women lead the toppers list. All India rank 1, 2 and 3, bagged by Shruti Sharma, Ankita Agrawal and Gamini Singla respectively. On India First, we'll get you images that you haven't seen before, images that have appeared after 8 hours of survey that was carried out. And remember, this survey was carried out on the 14th, 15th and 16th of May 2022. Trishul-like carvings can be seen on the walls of the structure. This is the cleaning process on. But take a look at our top story. Before that, before I get you the details of the findings of the survey report accessed exclusively by India Today.
Gyanvapi Mosque case, is it a mandir or a masjid? Was there a Shivling or was it a fountain? For weeks, suspense has been building up on Gyanvapi, but today, India Today brings to you the biggest exclusive on this story. India Today has the biggest Gyanvapi game changer, a news break that totally changes the course of this story. We have accessed the full 8-hour-long, completely unedited footage of this survey that was conducted just a week ago on May 14th, 15th and 16th. We are showing you the most recent footage of the claimed Shivling inside the Gyanvapi Mosque. Let's break down to you all the big takeaways from this survey. First, we have videos showing the wazukhana, where the Hindu side has claimed a Shivling has been found. Now here's what the survey team found within the wazukhana. Once the water was drained out, the claimed Shivling was found, and add to that, you can see a structure on top of this claimed Shivling made with concrete. The Muslim side maintains this is a fountain. The Hindu side has claimed that a structure was built on top of the Shivling to make it look like a fountain. Not just the Shivling, while scanning the 8-hour-long footage, we also saw carvings on the mosque's walls. Trishuls can be seen on the walls of the mosque. That's led to Hindu side again claiming that the location where Gyanvapi Mosque is today was actually a temple. The latest revelation of your favorite channel surely changes the course of this story. It now remains to be seen how the court will react to this evidence and will it be taken into consideration? Bureau Report, India Today.
I quickly now want to cut across to India Today's Samarth Srivastava joining us for more on the story. In a moment from now, we'll also be joined by Advocate Shankar Jain, who's the petitioner in this case, and a well-respected Islamic scholar, who's Atikur Rahman, who's joining us on the broadcast. But before I come to Advocate Shankar Jain and Atikur Rahman, I want to cut across to Samarth Srivastava. Samarth, you and Kumar Abhishek, you've exclusively accessed these images and the survey report. This survey was conducted on the 16th of May inside the wazukhana area. Tell us more about what the survey images seem to indicate before we analyze these images with our guests.
Well, Gaurav, images what are seeing are clearly mentioning, be it the swastik symbol, be it the Trishul symbol, be it the symbols that are hidden inside that particular calendars, being what clearly Harishankar Jain claimed it while speaking to India Today TV, is a clear indication where the entire case is going towards. And what we have seen, that Shivling claimed by the Hindu side, that fountain claimed by the Muslim side, but what visuals are coming, it seems to be a proper black object with a proper one surface with a shower-like situation at the top of it, which clearly signifies that somebody has tried to tamper that particular thing, Gaurav. And I have been joined by Vishnu Shankar Jain with me. I'll try to get more details about that. You must have seen the footages, Vishnu.
Yes.
What's your first thought after seeing the footages?
See, the first thought is the same which I saw on the spot. And when I went on the ground, the first time I saw my Mahadev, first time I saw the Shivling, immediate reaction was that I have to get this Shivling sealed, because from past 370 years continuously the wazu was being done there, and my deity is existing there, my deity is standing there. And the moment I saw that Shivling, whatever research I had done in the matter, all this research was right in front of me. And the judgment of the Supreme Court also notices that there were two Shivlings in the same temple complex, and all those things just came right in front of me. The mythology which we studied about this temple, the research we had done, the shlokas of Rig Veda, and everything was right in front of me, and I just immediately believed that yes, through my conviction, that this is a Shivling. And therefore, after consulting my clients, I moved to the court. I asked the court to seal this.
Threadbare. Let's analyze this threadbare, and let's analyze this one by one. You're looking at these multiple images. Now, for the benefit of our viewers, we will show you these images. We will go to Advocate Shankar Jain, who was there when the videography was going on, and then we'll go to Atikur Rahman. Image number one. What you see is a ladder. What you also see is water. This is water in that wazukhana. This wazukhana is 33 feet by 33 feet. And then you see something that looks like a well. Inside the well, you notice the top of a structure. Advocate Shankar Jain, we are looking at image number one. What does this image indicate? How did you think, or who thought about draining the wazukhana? What went on that day? Okay, let me explain this image to you once again as I try and re-establish that link with Advocate Shankar Jain. What we are showing you in this image is the wazukhana, and this wazukhana is 33 feet by 33 feet. Vishnu Jain, if you can hear me, was it always a plan to drain the wazukhana? Did you know that there is a Shivling underneath? Why was that water drained, and what happened that day on the 16th of May at 8:40 in the morning? Vishnu, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes.
I'd like to understand, did you know that there is this Shivling underneath the wazukhana?
Pressure mat kari, aaja.
What was the decision? What was the decision that was taken to drain water from that wazukhana?
See, Gaurav, on the second day of the survey, when I went with the commission and I went near the wazukhana, I saw this wall in the middle of the wazukhana, and this wazukhana was full with water. And when I asked the Muslim caretaker that what is there in the middle of this wazukhana, he said nothing, it's just a fountain and there's nothing great in this, you guys can see somewhere else. So immediately I said that no, I want to see it, and please just lower down the water so that I can go inside and see it. Then they had an objection. They said that no, inside the wazukhana no one can enter and there are a lot of fishes in the wazukhana. Therefore I told the Advocate Commissioner that I want to enter the wazukhana, I want to see, I want the Advocate Commissioner to see the wazukhana and the water must be lowered down. And I requested the Advocate Commissioner that not to conclude the proceedings of the commission and carry it on the third day, because we had one more extra day. And fortunately the Advocate Commissioner acceded to my request. The survey was conducted on the third day, and the first endeavor on the third day of the survey was to lower down the water with lot of oxygen so that the fishes don't die. And the staircase was used by which we went in the middle of this wazukhana, and we saw a bhavya Shivling of Mahadev. And then immediately my first reaction and first point was that I immediately connected myself to the mythology and the research we had done on the matter. I immediately connected to the judgment of the Supreme Court passed in this case of 1997, 4 SCC page 606, and I felt that whatever we have read in the past is absolutely correct.
Okay, so you are saying this was a bhavya Shivling. The Muslim side says this is a fountain. But stay with me for a moment. Atikur Rahman, you've seen these images. Is this not clear as day? The Hindu side says this is a Shivling.
Gaurav, I do not have the screen before me, but as you tell me about these pictures and these videography, I think the best person to reply on these things should be the party himself who are opposing this and calling it a fountain. I am not in the know of the things what Mr. Vishnu Jain is saying. I respect him. He is a respected officer of the court. I just want to ask a few questions to him. Whatever is being done on the media, I believe, Gaurav, this is a one-sided, naked Hindutva propaganda.
How? No. On India Today, let's say facts.
I have a few
let's
questions.
talk facts.
You can take up the things together. I have a few questions.
How is this Hindu propaganda? It is Hindu propaganda.
Because the other side is missing.
Sorry?
The other side is missing. The best person to...
You are the other side.
No, I am not the other side. Sorry.
You are the other side.
I am not the spokesperson of the other side. No. Whatever is placed before us on a media channel, I do not have a screen. I do not have any papers. I do not know what is going on in the court. Whatever the media and you, respective Gaurav Sawant, tells me, I have some opinion about it, but I am not the party to it. That is for sure.
Are you shirking away? Are you shying away from facing facts?
Yes,
are these facts? And I want to take this because I want to understand from Advocate Vishnu Shankar Jain. Mr. Jain, there are some who say that this is a fountain, and I want our producers, can we move to the next image, please? I want a close-up of the top. Can we move to the next image, Sakshi? No, the next image, Sakshi. The close-up. I want to move to a close-up of this structure that has been located. Sakshi, can we move to the next image, please? Yes. This thing on top, Advocate Vishnu Shankar Jain, there is some kind of a 9-inch by 9-inch structure on top with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. What is that structure, sir? With a half-inch hole.
See, it's something made of cement. Yeah, it's something made of cement, and all the endeavor was done to give this Shivling a shape of a fountain, or a chakri was put over it. So therefore I had if you will see the report of the Advocate Commissioner had categorically mentioned in his report that this is not the part of the original structure. He has categorically mentioned it, and therefore I had given this point of view that this was just an endeavor to make a Shivling into a fountain. But if you will see the mathematics of this, it is very evident that the Shivling in the report of the Commissioner is of 2.5 feet. and this drill which was done was of 63 centimeter, to still there was 0.5 centimeter which was 0.5 feet which was remaining. And if this is a fountain, so where is the water management system, from where the power is generated, from which place the water is going up? So all these are the things I think which requires further detailed investigation, but I strongly believe that this matter requires ASI investigation which will thrash out the entire theory.
Very important point you make there, and let me take it to Atikur Rahman once again. Mr. Rahman, you concur this requires deeper investigation. Is this a fountain, or is this, as Advocate Vishnu Shankar Jain and the Hindu side believe, a shivling? Should there be a deeper investigation? Because if there is this half-inch hole here, which is about 63 centimeters and doesn't go beyond, then where is the water inlet? What is the water management system? Atikur Rahman.
Gaurav, you didn't allow me to complete on my first attempt, and that proves my point that this is a naked Hindutva propaganda. I was to ask certain questions to Mr. Jain, which you do not allow me to. I hope this time you are allowing.
Permit me to ask questions on this broadcast. I've asked you very specific questions. I would request you for specific answers. I've asked you a very specific question, sir. If this is a fountain, then it should have a water inlet system. The Hindu side says, let there be an investigation by Archaeological Survey of India. Do you concur, sir?
I am not the Muslim party in the case. The matter is subjudiced, and I would like to know from Mr. Jain what is the definition of a subjudiced matter. What are you doing on a television channel? You are in contempt of court. You are violating,
sir, we will let the courts decide that.
As long as I'm not,
sir, these are facts. These are facts.
Not the facts
we are putting out facts in public domain in larger public interest. Our job is to give out information, and we are giving out information. I have asked you a specific question. You are once again shying away from the question.
Contempt of court.
Sir, you are shying away. Sir, if it is contempt of
court,
courts will decide. Courts will decide. Atikur Rahman will not decide. Atikur Rahman does not decide.
Media channel becomes a court.
Sir, media channel is not a court. We are asking questions and you are shying away from that question.
The judicial discipline gets violated when you discuss.
You are hiding. Sir, you are once again hiding. Sir, you are once again hiding behind judicial discipline in this case.
Universal.
Sir, you are hiding behind. You are not answering on facts, sir. I have asked you a question.
Matters of faith are personal.
Sir,
and matters of law are universal.
I'm glad you think that. Do you also think that in Uniform Civil Code? You think that then this country should move towards a Uniform Civil Code, Atikur Rahman? If faith is personal, then let's have a uniform law in this country. I'm sure you would agree.
Have it. Where's the draft? 8 years, the mighty Modi government fails to get a draft.
Okay. So they should move in direction of a Uniform Civil Code, and Atikur Rahman will persuade those who are opposing it to support it in wider good of the country and all individuals and all citizens of this country, sir. But if we come back to the topic today, I want to now move to the next question. If this is a shivling as the Hindu side claims it to be, should there not be a deeper investigation? And Atikur Rahman, is it a fair question to ask, should Muslims still insist that they want the resumption of wazu at this location? If Hindus are saying, this is our shivling, would you advocate washing hands and feet and rinsing their mouth with 30 taps around what the Hindu says is shivling?
The fact of the matter is, wuzu is performed outside the wuzukhana, not inside. Nobody spits into it.
Sir, there are 30 taps around this place.
Nobody washes feet into it. It's a naked propaganda of the Hindutvawadis to say you are whipping up the passions. Gaurav, in the wuzukhana, in the pond, the water is drawn out of it, not spitted into it. Please get the
So you still justify that wazukhana should be restored?
Water
if the Hindus are saying,
sir,
I'm asking you a very simple question, sir. I'm asking you a question.
Into it. Will you determine this fact on your channel?
Sir,
The
I am
pot
asking
is
you a
used
question.
to
There is a
store water.
wazukhana.
It's a
What
reservoir.
happens in a wazukhana is a question I've asked you, Atikur Rahman.
Mr.
I mean-
Vishnu Jain is whipping up passions against the Muslims by saying that so long the Muslims were spitting into it, which is wrong. Nobody was washing hands into it.
Fair enough.
Nobody was putting feet into it.
Sir, now that the Hindu side claims or insists this is the Shivling, yet
It's a
some
seed
want
area.
wazukhana to be restored, do you
It's a
concur,
seed area.
or you think there has
Let
to be
the
another
Supreme
way
Court
found?
Determine the character of it. What does the Supreme Court said? We will determine it. Let it get determined. Why are you having this negative Hindutva propaganda? It's a contempt of court.
Okay. You say it's contempt of court. I want to bring in India Today's Samarth Srivastav joining me for more on this big story. And Samarth, these images, this construction on top, different color from the black structure that is found here. How do the two sides explain this, Samarth? What is the Hindu side saying about this? The difference, how do they explain the difference in color here? And how does the Muslim side explain the difference in color?
See, Gaurav, Hindu side is claiming that it's a Shivling, it's a clear-cut Shivling, and they are saying that there is another object on the top of that particular surface because the entire surface is black stoned and the upper portion seems to be a flavor of whiteness. While the Muslim side claiming that it's a fountain, though it's not operational, so they cannot show how the water is coming out from inside, but they are claiming yes, that's a fountain. But if you talk to the historians, be it of Varanasi University, be it of Delhi University, you will get one sense. They are saying that some object is over that particular Shivling. It seems variably different from the object, from the surface, which is below, that's the black surface, in the form of proper stone. It seems ancient old stone. And on the top of it, somebody has tried to tamper that particular stone, what Hindu side is claiming to be a Shivling, Muslim side claiming to be a fountain. But it seems, if you see the video, if you see the images, it seems that it has been tampered to a bit, and that's the reason why there is one hole in between, and that's what Advocate Commissioner said, that he had to go inside to see what the hole is like. And when he saw the entire area, and that particular surface is quite different from that surface that is below. So that is the question.
Stay with me for a moment. I want to once again bring in Atikur Rahman. I want to bring in Atikur Rahman as our viewers look at these images. Atikur Rahman, if there is no water inlet system, if the Hindu side says that there is a narrow passage that actually leads into a basement that's been walled up, they want that those walls to be removed because they say the bricks and the covering up is of a much later date. At least that is what it appears. It's relatively newer than the other structure. Sir, should there be a wider inquiry, a deeper probe, go into the basement and look at it, whether there's actually a water inlet system? There could well be a water inlet system, or there could well be a Shivling that extends all the way down to the base. But for truth to emerge, for truth and reconciliation, is that the way forward, sir? Archaeological Survey of India carries out an independent investigation.
Gaurav, an inch towards all these measures is a violation of the 1991 Places of Worship Act. Repeal it, amend it. We have a mighty government, the Modi government. They can do it today itself, tomorrow itself, within 48 hours. Call a special session of the parliament. Repeal, amend. Don't violate the temple of democracy,
Sir,
that is
tell
parliament.
me this, does Atikur Rahman decide whether it's a violation of 1991 Places of Worship Act? Does the Supreme Court determine it? In India, do we move by what courts of law say or what Atikur Rahman says?
As I read the law, it's a violation.
Sir, as
If
you
Supreme
read the
Court
law,
have a different
the
opinion,
learned judges of
we
Supreme
will-
Court have read it, the learned judges at various stages of judiciary have read it. Maybe you may like to concede that their appreciation of law may be a little more than you, considering they've studied and practiced it all their lives, sir. So
The
they don't
Oracle
consider
of
it
Justice
a
is
violation
our
of law,
last
Places of Worship Act 1991, sir.
The oracle of justice is our last hope, and we hope that better sense will prevail, and they will
So
come
if it's
out
not
with
according
the
to you, then
exact
better sense
law
is not
of the Lord,
prevailing. Is that what you're
not
saying, sir?
Astha. not Astha. Law of the land will prevail
Oh,
ultimately.
absolutely, sir.
That's our
Law
hope.
of the land. Law of the land, sir. Not Astha, not Sharia. Law of the land.
200%.
And I hope that's acceptable to all, because we'll be tracking the story very, very closely. Atikur Rahman, Vishnu Shankar Jain and Samarth Srivastava for joining me on this India Today special broadcast. Many thanks. We'll track the story closely.